Or I guess Babacus, you're kind of loose now from Barapatane. We've kind of moved on from his era anyway. Yeah. But maybe we can have maybe Babacus should take on a role here in this storyline as well. That'd be kind of cool. It could flush things out a bit more. And we know that at some point the let me actually check out when that will happen. We've got the spread of Melium, West Coast Choppers. Yes, the Cult of Melium reached. When does it reach the Grey Sea? From Sanzar, began focusing on cities across the Grey Sea. So that was in 736. Of course, I don't think it would have arrived in Varnotis right away because it's a little bit tucked away from the rest of the Grey Sea. And it's not until, let's see, after 744 that they reach the Eye of Maga. So let's roll a dice for when between there that happens. So when will the cult come into this storyline? Too handsome to sink so low as to play Captain Sterling. I think it would be kind of cool if we had Babacus take on a role in this coup d'état. We could have him be perhaps the standing powers or perhaps the new powers, but then his decisions would affect some of what's going on for the crew of the Sterling. Although you've just played a cult leader, so if you wanted to be someone a little bit more of a commoner, we could do that too. So just let me know, Babacus, what you're drawn to here. So we want from somewhere between 744 and 736. 741. By 741, the cult of Melium influence reaches Bernardos. There we go, we'll save that. And I guess we should probably add that to the timeline for this local area. That'll help us make sure we don't miss it. The Cult of Melium reaches Bernardos. 741. History of Varnordos. It is of, yeah, it's probably national importance and is a religious event. Under the leadership of Barapatane, the cult of Melium's sway reaches the shores of Varnordos. Don't know what you're feeling? Well, we can just keep going then, and when we get to a point where someone else's decision will carry weight on this thread we're following, then we can see if you want to make that decision. It's kind of how it's all designed to work. 741 a little later. Good stuff. So I think the color must indicate the significance of the event. So this is a major event. These two are national events, and this is a local one. So I guess chicken with rabies. Do you want to continue going, or do you gotta call it a night soon? We can always, I can always work on the map some more, work on the globe a bit. If you guys want to just hang out for a while instead of diving on to the next thing in Luthera's story. Oh, I gotta stop doing that, suggesting multiple options and then seeing a sure. It's like, oops, I should have just suggested one option. Skills you gotta learn as a streamer. Bouncing back and forth, finishing this code. Cool. Are you coding for work right now at 3 a.m.? You can continue. Okay. Or is you got some projects of your own you're working on? Hello, welcome, Crazy Gaming. Nice. Coding for yourself, yeah. Crazy Gaming, if you're interested, you can check out my About panels. We're running an interactive role-playing game stream. And kind of it's all being recorded into a wiki. So you can find that link down below as well over at World Anvil. And yeah, it's kind of a cumulative, persistent world. I've got novels and stories and stuff written in there. Oh, I forgot to stand them up today. That's what I get for streaming at 3 a.m. here. But if you want Crazy Gaming, I mean, we got a spot you could jump into right now if you wanted to take on the role of someone within the world of Gethra. Let's see here. We should also add in, I think Bogtown needs to be its own page now. Now that we have so much happening there. Bogtown. It is a... Wait, what have I done? Geographic location. Okay, we're in the wrong type of page. Location settlement. There we are. And this is a town. Alright, Bogtown is a medium-sized town on the coast of Varnardos. Cool. We'll just make this just a little sub for now. At least it exists, and we can link to it and stuff for later. And we don't want that bogged down. There we go. But now we can drop this into some of these pages where we've got lots going on in Bogtown. No worries, Crazy Gaming. I'm not strictly speaking doing D&D, but this setting could be used for D&D or other role-playing games. I'm an author who is kind of doing an interactive world-building stream. So we're kind of following different story threads throughout the world of Gethra, and you guys get to take on the roles of characters. So if you'd like Crazy Gaming, you can take on the role of a character within this world, and I'll consult you for decisions as we progress. It's up to you. There we go. So Bogtown's linked up there. And can we link to it here? Let's see. Let's see, will that work? Probably not, eh? Nah. But it works there. That's okay. Just getting it all figured out. It would be nice to be able to set the order on these so that the major events one always float to the top. But that's okay. Thanks, Crazy Gaming. Yeah, it's I've been streaming for just over a week now, and it's going fairly well. Still lots of information I should be adding to the wiki from my existing stories that I've written about Gethra. But, oh, awesome. Thanks for the follow. Good stuff. Just got back into DMing myself, but wrote a bunch of short fantasy stories back in college. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few different things that we got. I've also been doing a podcast for the Lives of Gethra, which is my web series that I wrote within this world. So you can always check out the website down below as well if you want to read some of those, if you're interested in the fiction side of this, and or you can listen to them on Spotify or wherever if you don't have the time to sit down and read. Okay, so let's get back to Luthera Rantel. This is Chicken with Rabies character. All right. Well, I think let's actually, before we continue, I think it's going to be relevant to figure out more about this coup. So let's figure out who the characters are in this revolution that is unfolding. We might need to make a page. I think let's make a page for that, even if it's just a short one. This will be a conflict. This is the 735 coup in Norris. That was. Yeah, that's going to be a big group if they all come back, Bobicus. I wish there was more options for the conflict types. Like, is this a political debate? That seems a little mild after all this bloodshed. We'll just leave it without a type. Again. Okay, so 735. Why so 735? We'll say lowered. Let's see. Caduceus, Lord Caduceus of Norris, that was declared himself the new ruler of the city and orchestrated a number of attacks to eliminate and eradicate the previous rule of the old bloodline of emperors. More names: Estelorn, Olganth, and Rygar. Cool. Here, why don't I not note those down on our name page? Someone can choose those. Estelorn, Olganth, and Rygar. Maybe we should have Estelorn be the name of the kind of reigning monarch who's now been pushed out by this. Let's do that. Estelorn. Currently held by Patriarch Estelorn. So in the existing Lives of Gethra stories, this is 700 years later than these events. 700 years later than this, this city is ruled by the matriarchs. Three matriarchs who have equal control. So they're kind of like an oligarchy, a group of rulers. And the three matriarchs trace their bloodline back to the original empire. So regardless of what happens here, Lord Caduceus, Lord Caduceus is going to, push, this thing. Maybe for a while he will rule, and the monarchy will be in interregnum. And then after that, maybe at some point, we know the monarchs will, or the bloodlines will return to power. But it could be a long time. It could be hundreds of years still before they take back power. We'll have to see. Or maybe they crush this revolt. Save that at least. So Krasik Gaming, if you're still there as well, we have opportunity here for you could take on the role of either of these characters if you'd like. Lord Caduceus of Norris that was, who is declaring himself a king and trying to usurp the government, or you could take on the role of Patriarch Esterlorn, who is ruled and is the descendant of the rulers for hundreds of years, and has to try to maintain his hold on power. A couple options if you're interested, and we can log this in world events in the 700 to 800 period. There you are. Let's take the number out of there. All right. All right. Well, I think we'll just randomize then what's going to happen next, and then we can move on and see what the captain of the Ghost, what Captain Sterling will do about this. So I'll move back over to our roll tables here. Did the Ghost undertake this target alone? No. All right. So, what is the next development? Actually, let's figure out, did the initial attacks succeed in killing Esterlorn? We're going to have to understand a bit more about what is going on with the coup d'etat before we know where it will go for Luthera and Captain Sterling. And their babies? Maybe? I don't know. Did the initial attack succeed in killing Esterlorn? Yes. But other key targets survived. Yes, and the lineage seems to have been ended. And we'll have to figure out how that bloodline returns or survives. No, he escaped, but has lost most of his power. Or no, but the capital is in a stalemate. Okay, let's see here. Other key targets survived. Severely wounded. Yeah, that would be a good option. Yeah. Lost most of his power. Or is wounded. We might need to roll again after that one if we get that option, but I think that makes sense. A similar outcome, I think. 1d4, let's go. Yep, let's do it. Bam. 2. And the lineage seems to have been ended. So, I think there'd still be a bit of unrest, a period of unrest. Let's see. What's up with the bloodline? Well, I'll just ask that, because the question remains then: how do things return later with the return of this bloodline, or is it fake and it's a PR? You know, the next time a new government came into power, they were like, well, we're related back to the emperors. Let's see what's up with the bloodline. So it actually is lost, is ended. We could say a secret heir exists. Yep, exactly. As many. Well, I mean, any bloodline that's been around. I mean, you look back at it at Ancestry.com and stuff like that. You get like, bloodlines back in the day now have thousands and thousands of descendants. The question more is the line of succession, and is there anyone with enough of a claim to that, as opposed to just like, yeah, I'm, third cousin 10 generations back, yeah. But that said, there could be like some direct bastards that might have claim to something. So we could say that. Um, uh, I think that's a reasonable option as well. Um, so we'll say direct lineage stopped, but there are illegitimate heirs. We'll say he did not have heirs because of his preferences. All right, and I like the option of a secret heir. I think that would be kind of cool, and that could also lead to the storyline with Luthera. What else could it be? It's returned eventually through ritual. I imagine this would be a very dark ritual, through dark ritual. I imagine if a bloodline's going to be continued through ritual, I imagine there being some reanimation type stuff going on. All right. So it actually is ended. We'll put that as a fairly low option because there's no reason to suspect that the three matriarchs who rule in the future are not legitimate. Like, it could be a claim that they made for power, but it also seems less likely than the truth. Secret heir exists is a. I feel like that's also a historically common one. There has been times in history where a monarch escaped a coup, and everyone thought that it was over, but it wasn't. Direct lineage is stopped, but there are illegitimate heirs. Not uncommon. Do not have heirs because of his preferences. I think a little bit less common, just because even historically, it's unfortunate, but even historically, even people with certain preferences were sometimes forced to have heirs, or did so that they would fit in more with the pressures of their time period. It's obviously as much a tragedy as many other things in history, but not something that we can ignore, I guess, as a possibility. All right, I think we'll roll that. So we got eight options here. Well, I thought it might be cool, or the secret heir comes aboard, in Bogtown during these raids. I think there's a couple of cool story options we could have here. So, here we are. 7. Direct lineage stopped, but there are illegitimate heirs. Just for the fun of it, guys, let's also roll. Have we named any illegitimate heirs already? Because with our world building, it's always going to be fun to loop these back in. So let's say, let's try to brainstorm which named people it could be. So we've got could be Sterling. Yeah, could be. Could be. We also came up with last week. I think we came up with a lord who is in this land. So we could say Lord Nayar. I think his name is. Could be another crew member. I guess. Why not? I don't know if a snake person is related to Esther Lauren. Captain Sterling. it's a good thought though. when you have so many kids that one of them is a snake person spreading a religion. Might be kind of cool and unexpected if one of the bastard children is what was the name we came up with last time from the cult? Thendro. From Corbo, who joined us last night. So let's put this let's put him on there as well. Oh, that's a good point too, Babacus. We should put on there what was the name? Oh, and I've already closed that page, of course. Fastest way is going to be to go back to the timeline. Probably. Oh, no, world events. Lord Caduceus, who is now King Caduceus by his own decree. Yeah. It's a classic writer problem, right? I have thousands of names all the time in my head. Let's see. Is there anyone else that we know of? Let's take a look at that the world characters tab because that has a lot of characters listed so far. Thendro. Where is Argos from Xanderfell? Ah, he's further north. Yeah, and he's on the Crimson Highway. I mean, he was also part of a different ruling family somewhere else, so that doesn't make any sense. Okay, I think these are some good options. And then we're going to have to add in a high chance that none of the names we've come up with. Don't forget. So I think it's quite a bit more likely that none of these people. This is already giving it a 25% chance of it being one of these specific people that's relevant. 6 to 8? No, I think it's going to be even higher. 6 to 20. Just because it's real unlikely, I think. But this is part of the fun I have with Gethra. Maybe once we get further in the Lives of Gethra series with my podcast, you guys will pick up on this too. Is every once in a while there's that really rare number. Yeah, it's not specific yet because we haven't named any other crew members. Chicken with rabies, so we can, if I roll that option, then we can figure out, well, who is who's related. But yeah, with the Lives of Gethra stories, because there was often times where things had such a low likelihood of happening, but I still rolled them, and every once in a while you get that. It's like a crit hit in D&D. It's like once in a while you get that crazy, like, whoa, this was such a cool turn of events. Oh, making it 3 and 19? No, because I still think the odds of one particular ship having a direct connection to this event, and they also happen to go there, like, yeah, I think we'll just leave it as less likely. So this is going to say no known connection. We gotta have some of those rolls once in a while where it's just a long shot, but it'll be really cool when those succeed once in a while. So, all right, here we go. First D20 roll in the stream, I think. 1. What? What did I just say? The odds, guys. That's awesome. All right, Captain Sterling. This is what I'm talking about. Once in a while, you got to do those super rare rolls, and sometimes it's going to happen. It'll be awesome. I'm going to have to clip that after. me defending my unusual randomizer, and then it succeeding. Awesome. All right. Well, Captain Sterling has been at sea for a while, it sounds like. I don't even know where we go from here. I don't even know what we do next. This was your top pick. Yeah, I think this is a really interesting turn for this story. Does Sterling confide in the crew? Because maybe no one else knows.